Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and we're going to be reviewing day number 2 of Tampa Bay Buccaneers OTAs. We'll be doing day number 3 later today, by the way, so, I've been a little bit behind on things. The big news for day number 2 is that the Buccaneers signed Jalen McMillan to his rookie contract. This means that there's only 2 players left on the Buccaneers draft class who remain unsigned. That is first round draft pick Graham Barton, center out of Duke, a second round draft pick Chris Braswell, edge defender out of Alabama. So, hey, congrats to Jalen McMillan on his first NFL contract. And, we haven't heard a lot as to how McMillan has been doing so far up to this point, but I do want to mention it. I do want to talk about him in this video today since he has, just signed his new deal, because he is going to be competing. He is going to be a guy who is going to be really battling it out in these OTA practices, in the eventual training camp, in the eventual mandatory minicamp, and all these different types of practices the Bucs are going to have. McMillan is going to be a big part of that. And I know there is a lot of excitement. I know there is a lot of, I don't want to use the word hype, but intrigue, let's say, in McMillan and what he can be for the Bucs going forward in his first NFL season. Again, 92nd overall pick, top 100 pick here for McMillan. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is, nothing to overlook, right? And McMillan did have 1,000 yards, did have 9 touchdowns in 2022 for Washington, would probably have a very similar stat line had he not got injured in 2023. So, yeah, this is a guy who is an incredibly interesting prospect, is one of those rookies who can have a potential role here in year number 1. One thing that I thought was super interesting as well, by the way, was Jenna Lane of ESPN even said, hey, they may have drafted a potential Chris Godwin replacement in Jalen McMillan. That's a very strong, powerful thing to say, in my opinion, right? That isn't a thing to say lightly, because Chris Godwin throughout his career has been really good for the Bucs in the past. So, to say that you may have drafted a potential replacement for Chris Godwin is not something that should be taken lightly, because you're talking about a guy who has had minimum over 840 receiving yards in the past 6 NFL seasons of his career. 4 out of those past 6 seasons were 1,000-yard seasons. He's second in team history in receiving yards. So, I mean, yeah, you can certainly, agree that Chris Godwin has meant a lot to this organization. And if you're viewing potentially McMillan as a guy who can be a replacement like that, that's some good stuff. Again, Godwin, second in career receiving yards, second in career receptions, second now, tied second with Jimmy Giles, in career receiving touchdowns. It's not a thing to be taken lightly. It's not a thing to scoff at, right? If somebody's saying that, they're saying it with purpose. And maybe that's what Jalen McMillan will be. Sign his first-year deal. Happy for him for that. We'll see how he gets along here in these OTA practices. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about all this down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. Go Bucs.